Assalamu alaikum and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to the another episode of webinar of District 79. Today we are going to learn about the pathways, the experience that we are going to get out of pathways, and also whatever the queries and questions and clarifications you need, you can ask our presenter today, who has been in the pathways learning experience since I believe 2013, and he is the Chief Ambassador for District 79. That's none other than Toastmaster Syed Wahid Latif. Toastmaster Syed Wahid, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abdul. Fellow Toastmasters and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the webinar of Pathways Learning Experience. As you must have heard all the time about the Pathways, upcoming Pathways journey will be implemented from the 20th of March 2018, which is 2 days from now, in our District 79. Pathways is a new educational program which will replace the current educational program of two-track system. Pathways are embedded into your base camp and your login IDs through your Toastmasters International IDs and your password. Most of us have the Pathways, rather the Toastmasters login IDs, but seldom we do log in. But from now onwards, we need to access all the resources and materials through our login IDs. The two-track system will be changing it to 10 parts. We will discuss in detail about it. Have patience, write down your questions. Towards the end, I will be taking all the questions possible during the after the presentation. Sorry about my throat, I'm not well, but however, we'll continue with this presentation. It's a base camp, which is accessible through your login IDs. And what is base camp is in your online home base for the educational program, where you will find all your projects embedded there and resources of the material which you want to access to the TMI, and the transcripts which you are working on or you will be accessing through, and the tips how you would browse, how you navigate, how you log in or access the material, how you give the accessibility to your evaluators, to communicate to your club, to the VP education. All the educational materials are there, and the tools you will find it in your base camp, and that base camp is accessible through your password and your login IDs as the TMI member. Each one of us has the username and password. If you have forgotten your password, you can send it to your TMI. They will give you a temporary password, and then you can access this material. And there will be base camp managers. The primary responsibility of the base camp manager is the VP education of your club. In absence of the VP education, the president or the secretary of the club will give the accessibility or approve your transcripts or your projects after the completion. The traditional material of the printed material will also be available. We'll talk in detail about how to get the printed material, but now the pathways are divided into 10 parts. This is based on the 5 core competencies. The 5 core competencies is public speaking, interpersonal communication skills, leadership strategies, management, and confidence building. All those 5 core competencies are divided or multiplied into 10 parts, and we have 10 parts to learn from. If you remember, the traditional or the current educational program have 2-track system, which is the educational track and the leadership track. There will not be available in the pathways. The pathways are interlink with the leadership and the educational program. And those 10 paths are defined as each one of them are the dynamic leadership, effective coaching, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, strategic relationship, team collaboration, and visionary communication. Now, if you look at the left-hand side, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the 4 competencies. And if you look at the dynamic leadership, and the right-hand side, you will see 1, 2, 3, and 5. What it means is that the dynamic leadership are based on the 4 competencies. The public speaking, number 1, interpersonal communication, and strategic leadership, and the management is not part of the dynamic leadership. The confidence building is. Now, another example which I would like to give is the presentation mastery. If you choose to work on the presentation mastery, you will be working on the core competencies of the public speaking and confidence building. Each one of us, now all the current members will be getting the one path free. And the second path, we need to pay for it. We will talk about the pricing in the next few slides after. And the good thing is that the current educational program will coexist with the pathways for 24 months after the implementation of the pathways. The implementation of the pathways, as I said earlier, is March 20th in our district, but some of the other region and district will have it by 30th of June 2018. After the 30th of June 2018, the worldwide Toastmasters International will embark on a journey called Pathways for the new educational program. From the 1st of July 2018, 24 months will be given to each one of us, the current members, to work on the current educational program. And all the new members who join on the day of the implementation of the program, which is 20th of March, we know now, can no longer work on the current system. They have to embark on the journey of the pathways. And all of us have to take the survey and the assessment test given by the Toastmasters International through your base camp. And after your assessment, the TMI will recommend you the path to choose from. If you think any of the path which is recommended by the Toastmasters International is not your cup of tea, you can choose whichever the path you may want to choose. And you need to work on the 2 paths. The first path is free, the second one you have to pay. Toastmaster Abdul, can you help me out to take out this icon and get going? Yeah, I got it. Now, each one of the path have 5 labels. And all those 5 labels have the name, and each label have like mastering fundamentals, learning your style, increasing your knowledge, building your skills, demonstrating expertise. Each one of the labels have projects, and now in the pathways, each project contains minimum 1 speech. If you remember, in the current educational system, we call 1 speech as a project completion. But in the pathways, each one of the projects may have more than 1 speech. And that's how, and all the 10 paths have level 1 to 5. And each one of the level 1 have the mastering fundamentals, and each one of the level 1 have the icebreaker. For example, if you work on the 2 paths to complete the DTM, both of the paths will have the icebreaker, evaluation, feedback, and researching and presenting your projects. The idea of having the icebreaker all the time is the Toastmasters International want us to work on and repeat the project in the different aspect of your life and speak on. The more you practice, the more confident building you can get. As you progress from level 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5, there will be an elective projects. You need to select from the choices given. And level 1 and 2 have no choice but to work on all the projects given there. In the pathways, the mentoring program is introduced. Currently, we only have sort of the workshops or the presentation to train ourselves to be the mentor. But in the pathways, there will be a project of completion of the mentorship program. All of us will get into the level 2, where there was an introduction to the mentorship. But then if you want to work on the mentorship program, there will be 5 levels to complete on the mentorship program. This is something new introduced in the pathways. Each one of us will get an opportunity to browse through the mentorship program and work on it and become a competent mentor. This is something new which is pathways have introduced. These are the examples I'm giving in short, and I'll take all your questions towards the end. As I said earlier, each one of the project is not necessarily one speech. In some of the projects, there are tasks given, and here is the example. At the level 3, when you elect or select a project, and in this project, before you even give the speech, make connection through your networking. What you need to do is to network yourself in your social circle or your community circle, in your business circle, and attend that networking program and write your project speech of your experience on the networking and share it with your club members at the club meeting. So the tasks are given in some of the projects which you need to work on. It is experiential learning and very innovative of the paths to design to suit to your requirement, our requirement, and tailor-made to our needs. You can choose your experience in the printed material, but however, if you choose to get into the printed material, you will have the limitation. For example, there will be only 5 paths available in English and only 2 paths available in the non-English. But if you choose the electronic accessibility, which is called the Basecamp, all the 10 paths are available in English and non-English too. So you need to be careful in selecting some of us may not have the accessibility electronically or internet facilities, then they can choose the printed material, but they will be limited to 5 parts in English and 2 in non-English. There will be a recognition at every level. As you complete your level 1, 2, 3, 4, as you see it on the screen, there will be electronic badges coming in your Basecamp. You can share that in your social media, Facebook or Twitter, as we do. And when you complete your levels, you will be getting those badges. And some of the badges, if you see it in the bottom of that head and the stars and the people, these are the badges each one of us will give it to ourselves through the Basecamp as to encourage us a speaker, a star speaker of the meeting, and all those badges will be given by each one of us. Certificates of the completion at the level of each one of the level, you will get a certificate. You can print your own certificate, share it on social media, and print your own certificate. At the end of the 5th level, you can choose to print or request for a certificate from the TMI. But from level 1 to 4, the TMI will not send you the certificate. At only the completion of the path at level 5, they will send you the certificate if you choose to. But if you want to print your own certificate, you can do so, or you can share it with the social media. The pricing of the pathways. The first path for all the current members will be free, but for the second path, we all need to pay $20. All the new, as I said earlier, the new members who join on the 20th of March 2018, they can no longer work on the current education program. They have to embark on a journey of the pathways. And after going through the assessment, the TMI will recommend, I'm repeating just for the sake of your understanding, the TMI will recommend you the path which you want to work on. And if you choose to work on a different path, you can click on it and get the accessibility to that path you want to work on. The second path, you need to pay $20, and you need to pay $25 in case you choose to get the printed material. However, there is information here. If you choose to exchange your path within 30 days, for example, if you're working on the dynamic leadership and after few projects or speeches, you feel that you want to change to a different path, you can exchange it with the TMI by submitting your exchange request within 30 days. But after 30 days, you no longer can exchange. You need to pay $20 to exchange. So remember, 30 days is the time where you can exchange it for free. Similarly, the printed material, once you get it and you feel that you want to change that path printed material, you need to ship it back to the TMI in the original order and have it shipped the new path for you for free. But if you lapse to exchange it within 30 days, after 30 days, you need to pay another $25 to access the path or the pathways material. Pathways doesn't change the club meeting. If you look at those check marks today, what we have, and the pathways is all pluses. Let me give you a little briefing on this one. Your club meeting has an agenda, meeting roles and speeches. Yes, it is true, and it will be the same in the pathways. You assign for a speech and receive an evaluation, yes, but plus access the stored speeches evaluation online. All your evaluation are stored online. Another good thing about here is the pathways and the Basecamp accessibility is that you can give multiple access to the multiple evaluators and get all the feedback. And the good thing about this accessibility is that, for example, if you're given access to 5 of the the evaluators and you get 5 evaluation, you can choose to keep whichever you want to keep online, and you want to delete the rest of the 4. Or you can keep all the 4 or 5 evaluation as you wish to. And club members support you and give feedback, yes. And feedback is also given online Basecamp. In addition to the oral feedback given at the club, you will also be having stored your evaluation online. Receive this digital badges and certificate through Basecamp. This is plus, and those pluses are unique to these days environment, that you can share that on a social media on a click of a mouse. The Icebreaker project is your first speech. It is same, no change. The VP Education track your progress. It is same. Speeches last 5 to 7 minutes. It's same. Currently, we are learning from 68 competencies, but in the future, we will be learning from the 300 competencies. Imagine, that's so much of plus. One communication track and one leadership track in the current educational program, but in the future, you will have 10 different learning paths tailored to your requirement and your needs and based on your assessment and the questions you have answered and your requirement. I will speak about the 10 learning paths in a little bit more because there will be some more paths coming in the future. I'll just talk about it in the next slides. So the idea here, the pathway doesn't change the club meetings. It is still the same. Most of the club officers, area and area directors are worried about the DCP plan. The Distinguished Club program will coexist in the current 24 months, and in the future it will move to the levels. For example, in the next 24 months, from the 1st of July 2018, the current educational program gives you 1 point of 2 cc's and 2 more cc's that will be equal to 4 levels of ones or 2 levels of twos. So imagine, I mean, you have an option. I mean, all the current members working on the CCs and ACB, or DTMs, you will get the DCP points. And all the new members who are working on the levels, the pathways, also having the completed 4 levels of level ones, you will get the DCP point. There is another news that each one of the current members would like to switch on to the pathways. You can do it immediately as and when you feel comfortable. The option only given for those who wants to complete their journey in the current education program and reach to some kind of a title, that you can do so. Again, it's 24 months time you have to work on the current education program. In the next, after 24 months, which is 1st of July 2020, only pathways will exist. The current education program will no longer be there. Let me move on. New path to the DTM. This is very detailed description here. The new path to the DTM is completion of the 2 learning paths. Out of the 10, you need to complete the 2 learning path to become the DTM. Serve as a club officer for 12 months. Current requirement is 6 months. Now, most of the clubs in Saudi Arabia have a meeting taking place on a weekly basis, and their tenure of the club officer is for 6 months. Those officers having a tenure of 6 months need to work on the club officer of any of the 7 officers for the next 6 months again to get the credit of the officer for working for 12 months. I'll give you an example. If you are the VP Education and your club meets every week, so your tenure ends after 6 months, and not necessarily that you need to consecutively catch on to the other officers' position. Rather, you can take even a break and do it after some time and get into the club president or VP Education or rather VP membership. Any of the 7 club officers or sergeant at arms will give you the credit for another 6 months. Serve as a club mentor or a coach. Serve as a club sponsor or conduct speechcraft or youth leadership program. Currently, if you remember, one of the requirement is to conduct the speechcraft or the youth leadership program, besides being the mentor or a sponsor. But in the new educational system, you need to serve as a club mentor or a coach and be the sponsor and have an option to conduct the speechcraft or the youth leadership program. If you conduct the youth leadership or speechcraft, you no longer have to be a sponsor. But if you become a sponsor, you no longer have to conduct the youth leadership and speechcraft program. This option is given in the pathways. Serve as a district officer for 1 year. You all know who are the district officers, starting from the area director and upwards. Complete the capstone DTM project. What is capstone DTM project? Is after completing the 2 learning paths and having gone through all the officers training and the mentorship, the club mentor and the club sponsor, towards the end of your learning paths, 2 learning paths, you need to design your own experiential learning, experience about your Toastmastering right on that project and deliver it in front of the club members. All those details and how to work on those DTM projects will be given through your Basecamp accessibility. Rollout is this. This is something which is given and in the months. Now we know our district will be getting it on the 20th of March 2018, 2 days from now. Every one of us will have the accessibility to the base camp. You can browse through, navigate, learn, ask questions, take the assessment, get into the paths and select your path, one free for current members. And once you complete the first path, you need to pay for the second path and get the accessibility to the second path. All those members who are the dual members will be getting each path from each club, not more than two. For example, if I'm the member of the 5 clubs, I'll be getting the access to only 2 paths, the maximum 2 paths for the 12 members. And in the future, as I said, I mean, there will be 2 new paths in addition to the 10 paths. Those 2 new paths will be coming to the paths accessibility by end of December 2018. And we know now what are those 2 paths: the humorously speaking path and advanced leadership path. There will be in the future there could be new paths addition to the program, but now we know that there will be 2 more paths in addition to the 10 paths. Adding a new language to the translation. Currently, as you all know, that there are 8 languages in the world which has translated into 8 languages, and there will be a new 9th language. We know now it's Tamil from India. Now I will take questions, please. Toastmaster Abdul, please help me out for the questions if you are seeing it on the screen, or open the mic.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Wahid, for the educational presentation. We have some questions, yes. Before we move further with the questions, I would like to inform all the attendees that if you have any questions, you can write it in the chat box or raise your hand. We'll, inshallah, give you the mic so you can raise your questions. I repeat, you can either write them in the chat or question box, or raise your hand and we'll provide you the mic to answer the questions. We have a question by Toastmaster Mariam.
Yeah.
Her question is, can I choose my path on 20th March and start my icebreaker on 21st of March?
Yeah, with all pleasure you can do that. Yes, please. Next question.
This question by Toastmaster Shuru. No, not Shuru. Toastmaster Shuru actually wants to convey thanks for the webinar and for the information you have shared with us today, Toastmaster Wahid.
She wanted what?
She wanted to convey thanks for the webinar for today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for appreciation. This webinar because of the limitation of the time, I need to rush through the slides and give you the information what is upcoming, and a little information which is to let you know exactly how it's going to work, and encourage you to work on the pathways. And more detail will be given by our pathway guides when they visit your clubs. I encourage each one of you to get into the emailing to the president requesting them to give us the slot to speak at your club meetings. We will be giving you a detailed presentation about the pathways and the accessibility to the base camp and how to browse and how to get into it. Thank you for the appreciation. Next.
Thanks, sir. There's a next question by Toastmaster Rashad. If I'm an officer or district officer now, can I submit the credit through pathways?
Yes.
Can I submit the credit for the current term?
Yes, you can. All the current officers who are into the district office will be given the credit at the pathways level. You don't need to have a new tenure in the pathways. However, the current educational program, for example, if I have completed the competent communicator manual, I can't have the accessibility to the pathways at the higher level. I need to start from the zero. I have to start at level 1. However, you can keep calling yourself as a competent communicator and the badge can be used and you will be recognized as a competent communicator or advanced communicator forever. But there is no equivalency of the education program. But the leadership program as area director or the club officer, you can take that credit into pathways. Next question. Next question.
Thank you, sir. I believe the next question by Mohammed Al Hajri is on the same lines. What about the current members who are in the middle of their way to DTM? I believe you have already answered.
Yeah, it is. You will have 24 months to complete your journey on the current education program. And that 24 months starts from the 1st of July 2018 until the 30th of June 2020. But if you choose to switch to the pathways, you can do it from the 20th of March. Next question, please.
Thanks, sir. I see DTM Mufid's hand raised. I will give the mic. DTM Mufid, please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah. In fact, yesterday I was able to take the assessment on the pathways for myself.
Yeah.
And I completed that. And in fact, they suggested 3 paths for me. But when I wanted to order them, I got a message to say that there was some error.
Yeah.
Was that because it's not yet 20th of March? Or was there a technical issue? I don't know.
No, I'll tell you what.
That 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You as a pathway guide have the accessibility 2 days before the launching of the pathways at the District 79. You have the privilege of browsing through and reading through and knowing what is upcoming. But you will be getting those accessibility to the actual path will be on the 20th of March. That error shows. You need to wait.
Okay, in this case, do I have to redo the assessment? Because I did it 3 times, in fact. And it's accepted.
Possibly yes or no. Because because what I know, the TMI is giving all the pathway guides and the ambassadors the accessibility to experience the base camp before it is being launched. Their idea is that the pathway guide should know better even before it is launched to the members.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Second question is, how is the pathways handling the dual memberships? That means if I'm a member in a club, 2, 3, then how can I submit my projects to number 1, number 2, to number 3, or what?
Yeah, all of us have the home base, because when you access the base camp and access through your TMI ID and the user ID and the password, it will show your home club, and all those material are accessible through your home club. But when you want to give the credit to the other club, you need to go to your base camp and change your home club to another club, which is a 12 member, and give the credit there. And once you complete your credit, given the credit to another club, if you want to stay there as a home club, you can. But if you want to switch back to your home club as original club, you can do that. So you have the flexibility of choosing your home club on a click of a mouse. You can give credit to another 12 club.
I hope those who are hearing us can answer, because I received some questions on the same thing. Good. Well, I leave the floor for somebody else. Then I'll come back with something else.
Thank you, DTM Mufid. You're doing a good job.
Thank you. You are the leader anyway.
No, I'm learning. Yes, sir. Next
Thank you.
question.
Yes, sir. So before we go to the next question, I have a question from my side.
Sure.
In the current system, the officers have to access the website and submit our awards for CCCL. How will this change, or will it remain the same when we come to pathways? Like, for example, I'm currently pursuing my advanced communicator silver.
Yeah.
So after 20th March, can I still submit my advanced communicator silver? Because I understand for the next 24 months, I can continue my DTM project, right?
Yes, you can continue your DTM project in the current education program, and you can submit as we are doing it now. It will run in parallel for 24 months. The same procedure to apply your educational credits. You can't do it on the pathways. You need to work on the traditional program and apply it in a traditional way for 24 months. Next question, please.
Thank you. Next question is, I believe Toastmaster Mariam, she did not hear her answer the last time, the answer that you gave for her first question, which is if she can she choose a path on 20th March and start the icebreaker on 21st March? I think the answer is yes for this one, right, sir?
Yes, she may do that. Yes, I hope there are no technical errors, because that on that particular day there will be so much of traffic on the internet and accessibility to the TMI, and I'm really hoping that it will work. And as the TMI has promised, they are geared up, and they have done it in different regions. They have done it in different districts, and they have very good experience. Nothing went wrong, and we are really hoping that nothing will go wrong with the District 7 to 9, and we can embark our journey from the 20th of March after taking the assessment. Next question, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Next question is, do I have to upload the speech of a member for it to be evaluated? This is by Toastmaster Harris Asadera. Yes, sir. Toastmaster Syed Wahid. Toastmaster Wahid, we cannot hear you. Toastmaster Wahid, are you there?
Just check your network connection. Oh my God. Okay, I think we lost the connection.
Yes, sir. You were not. We were not able to hear you.
Yeah.
The next question is by Harris Asadera. It is, do I have to upload the speech of a member for it to be evaluated?
No,
Because he
not
has to
really.
upload the speech.
Yeah, you don't need to upload your speeches at the base camp. You have to be present at the meeting. You have to deliver your speech in front of the audience, and the evaluator also have to present at the meeting, and he has to deliver his oral evaluation in front of the audience and give you a written feedback or electronic feedback through your base camp. Excuse me. You don't need to upload your speech at the base camp and get evaluated. You have to be present at the meeting to speak or deliver a speech in front of audience. Next question, please.
So, sir, in this case, now in the current scenario, we are getting evaluated in our manuals. So instead of the manuals, they will be doing it online, or along with the manual, they will be doing it online. How is it?
Yeah, the option to do it online is available, and the speech or rather the Toastmaster who's delivering a speech can give accessibility to the evaluator or print that evaluation sheet, take it to the club, give it to the evaluator for him to write it on and give it back to him. And then he takes his evaluation along with him. So the option of printing the projects online, online projects to make a print on your own is available. You can print all pathways as you have accessibility. You can print all your evaluation because as you have the accessibility. Next question, please.
Thank you, sir. The next question is by, I believe Toastmaster Rashad is referring to his previous question about the credit for the directorship or the credit for the officers, district officers and the exco members. I believe, as we have answered, this is possible, even if it is for the previous term.
Yes, the current officers will take the credit in the pathways, but not the education, only the leadership, the credit, the officers' credit you can take.
Sir, even if it's like 2 years back, this will still be accepted. Not the current year, but I mean 2 years back we served as an officer.
That's correct. Yes, you can take the credit.
Thanks, sir. Next question is by Toastmaster Mariam. Is it possible to start my advanced manuals and pathways on the same time?
Yeah, if you have time and energy and resources and the slots to speak in front of the audience at the club, you may do so. You can run your current education achievements, or rather the project, and then work on the pathways at level 1. Start your journey at level 1. But however, ethically, you should not be repeating the same speech and take the double credit. Next question, please.
Thank you, sir. Next question again by Toastmaster Mariam is she requires an email to contact if anyone have any further inquiries. Can you believe you can share your email address?
My email address is swlatif. It's S as in sugar, W as in Wahid, LATEEF. It's London Alpha Tango Echo Echo Father @gmail.com. As it in my name, SW Latif.
Thank you, sir. Next is by Toastmaster Azhar Al-Karim. My question is, if I start to take the assessment of the pathway and start the level, did this mean that what I have done on the CC or CL so far is not count it anymore? I believe he's already pursuing CC and CL, and he's curious if he start the pathways, will these go down, or how will it be?
All the pathways journey begins at the level 1 with the icebreaker. And the current educational program will run for 24 months in parallel. You can pursue your current educational program for 24 months. But if you choose to switch to the pathways, you have to begin at level 1 with the icebreaker. There is nothing called equivalency. For example, I have completed 5 projects in competent communication. I have option to complete another 5, become the competent communicator for the next 24 months. However, if I choose to get into the pathways, I have to begin my journey from the icebreaker at level 1, but there is no equivalency of the 5 levels I get or I completed. Next question, please.
Toastmaster Yasin, I have one question, if I may ask.
Yes, Toastmaster, please go ahead.
Toastmaster Wahid, now every path starts with the icebreaker, as you said. So is it the same speech or same type of icebreaker you had to give, or it's going to change from path to path based on the path requirement and the competency?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Very, very good question. Uh, each one of the path have the level one, and each one of the level one has the icebreaker. And what we understand now is that each one of the icebreaker have a different aspect of your life to share. There will be a guidance how to prepare your icebreaker and how to deliver, and there will be questions there where you need to ask yourself and then prepare your project. So there will be a different aspect of the icebreakers are there. It's an experiential learning. It's very, very innovative idea. Next question, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul. We have another question by Toastmaster Mufid. Yes, Toastmaster Mufid, please go ahead.
Yeah. In fact, first of all, I want to maybe I see that some members are very enthusiastic to start the pathways. One note: the 20th of March starts at the U.S. timing, not Saudi Arabia timing. So there might be a delay of about 10 to 11 hours. This must be taken in consideration. So if you try to sign up, it might not work until late on the 20th of March. That's number one.
Good
the
information.
other one,
Thank you.
right? The other one is for Toastmaster Wahid, because you are more experienced in this. Now, if I am a guide in more than one district, do I have to do the training twice, or will my record as a guide in District 79 will be equivalent or will be recorded for the other districts? By the way, I'm being assigned a job as a guide on the undistricted areas. So I have 5 clubs to visit online. Do I have to do the training again, as far as you know?
Not really, because the training for any individual is required once, and then if you have the more assignments to take care, you can do so, and the online clubs you are assigned to. But however, I'm not sure about the credit you get, because you need to have your minimum 8 visits done to the clubs and the 15 virtual interaction with the club you are assigned to. But if the online, you're only 5 clubs been assigned, I'm not sure if you can take the double credit. You need to ask that TMI, and we will get back to you soon.
Yeah, that raises another question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
There's somebody in the prayer. Now you said minimum eight clubs.
Yeah.
Right, but I was not assigned 8 clubs.
We need to talk about this when we have our Pathways Guides webinar on every Saturday, 11 to 12. We need to share our experience in those meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, I would appreciate it.
I'll wait for that. No problem. Okay.
Thank you.
I think you've done a very good job today. Thank you. I really for the other members, I think you've answered most of the questions that we are receiving on the phone now and then. And Yunus also done a very good job. Thank you very much for this. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Next question.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mufid. The next question is by Harris. When will the meeting program be launched? Mentors, okay. When will the mentorship program be launched, and who will certify the mentors?
Mentorship program at the level 3 is launched along with the Pathways launching on the 20th of March. However, I'm sure when you choose to work on the path, you need to work on level 1 and 2, get into the level 3 to choose the mentorship program. Once you choose the mentorship program and complete your requirement to be a mentor, your VP Education will approve your projects to be a competent mentor, or rather a mentor. Next question, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wahid. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please write them in the chat box. or raise your hand so we can give you the mic for the questions. At this juncture, I would like to thank Toastmaster Afdal for his contributions towards the webinar team, and especially for launching today's webinar. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Afdal.
Always thanks to our webinar manager, Toastmaster Yasin, for doing a wonderful job. And Toastmaster Abdul today has done excellent. Thank you. Any more questions? I'm available until next 10 minutes, or rather next 7 minutes.
If you have any questions, you can still write in the chat box, or you can raise your hand for them to be answered. So there was one question by Toastmaster Shuruk. Her question is, what will be the membership charges under the Pathways program?
The Toastmasters membership charges has not changed. It will remain the same as we pay $72 for a year, or for rather, I think 6 months. Is it 6 months, Toastmaster Yasin? Yeah. $72. $6 per month.
Yeah.
$6 per month, no change. And then once we become the member, we pay 6 months dues plus the $20 for the new members. No change in the fees. Next question. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Pathways is a new, innovative, and experiential learning coming to our district on the 20th of March. Get ready, speak about it, talk to your club members, talk to your officers, spread the word around, ask questions, access the TMI site, browse through the question answers, the FAQ, the question and answers given there, learn from it, and embark your journey to learn from the 300 competencies available. It's a new program. You will love it, you will enjoy it, and you will, inshallah, work on it. Get the new members on board to join the clubs. Any more questions?
Yes, sir, many actually. So there's another in building, in continuation for the previous question by Toastmaster Shuruk. She wanted to confirm that the current scenario is you have $45 for 6 months each. So when it comes to Pathways, the second pathway is $20. Is it just one-time fee, or is it like $65 you have to pay every 6 months? How is it?
No, it's a one-time fee. It's a joining fee. You see, when you join as a member, you pay $20 as a joining fee, and plus the 6 months club dues, or rather membership due. But then you get first path as free accessibility with your membership. When you pay the second part, you pay $20. Excuse me. But every 6 months, you don't pay $20 extra. That's what I mean. Next question.
Thank you, sir.
I think that the difference is that we have the tendency of now, for example, once we finish our Competent Communicator, we go for advanced. We get 2 books advanced free from Toastmasters International. However, after that, we have the tendency of using downloaded or copied versions. We don't purchase manuals. But here, I think the path has to be purchased. It's not available for copying. So this is what I think the members are feeling, seeing it as different.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, in the future, getting into the second path, you need to pay $20. And but when you say advance, you are only taking one path free, and the second path you pay for it. And as you purchase the manuals, but then some of us were not purchasing the manual, as you rightly said, but you only download it. But those downloads electronically is not available unless you pay $20 and get the accessibility to the second path. And you get all the 5 levels into it. You're right. Next question, please.
Thank you, Abdul, for that question. Is it possible to complete what started in pathways? I'm not aware of this question. It's not much clear. I believe he's asking, is it possible to complete what he started, like the classical uh, journeys, and then complete them in pathways? I believe that's not possible, sir.
No, actually, the current educational program will cease to exist after 24 months. So you still have 24 months to work on the current program and or switch on to the new pathways. And when you switch on to the pathways learning experience, you need to start your journey at level 1 from the icebreaker. There is no equivalency which you can take from CC manual to the next level. All the pathways journey begin at level 1 and at from 0. Even the current members have to start from level 1. Next question.
Thank you, sir. Next question is by Toastmaster Harris. Under District 79, what will the clubs receive for pathways? Will they receive a pathways kit or guide, or how will it be?
Most of the pathway guides near to you have got the shipment delivered to their addresses, and they are having available to deliver it to your clubs. But some of the pathway guides have not got the shipment delivered to them, so they do not have the material available to deliver it to you. However, with the electronic accessibility, we have sent a mail to all the club officers, the president and the VP education. The electronic, the attachment material is sent to them. In turn, all the club presidents and the VP education supposed to send it to all the members. Get in touch with the president or the VP education of your club. Ask him to give you the attachments of the pathways information. And if you feel that you're not getting through or they do not have it, they lost it, please write to the chief ambassador or to any of the pathway guides to whom you know or are familiar with. We will be more than happy to give you the attachments where you can browse through and read through and learn to get into pathways. Next question, please.
Thank you, sir. So just a question building upon that. What will these attachments contain? Like, is there PDFs or what are the details of these attachments?
Those are the PDF files given how to navigate, how to access your base camp, what is pathways, what are labels, and how to give your access to your evaluator, how the VP education will access your transcripts and approve it or disapprove it, how to switch from your home club to the next club. All those information is given. Anything which you can think of, have in your mind, it's there. And read through your FAQ and the Toastmasters International. You will get lots of answer there. Next question, please.
Thank you, sir. This is a question raised by Yusuf. Toastmaster Yusuf, you can unmute yourself and please go ahead. Toastmaster Yusuf is also. Toastmaster Yusuf Raslom, you're unmuted. Please unmute yourself and go ahead. Toastmaster Yusuf, we see your hand raised. Okay, till we get across to another speaker. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, you can raise your hand for questions, or you can simply type them in the chat box. Toastmaster Wahid, I don't see any questions raised as such, so would you like to have any final words or conclusion?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure talking to all of you. If you have any more questions, please log into the TMI ID. If you can get those answers there, it's well and good. But if you don't, please shoot a mail to any of the pathway guides or ambassadors available near to you, or to the chief ambassador, or to the PQD. We'll be more than happy to answer all those we know. If we don't, we will get those answers from the TMI. 20th March is the day where the pathways will be launched in our district. Please mark your calendars, spread a word to the members, spread a word to the neighboring clubs, talk about it, get new members to join. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you, Toastmaster Yasin, for having this webinar for us. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wahid, for enlightening us about the pathways and also to uh, complete our queries, answer the questions. Thank you so much. We are really happy to have you with us today. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in for today's webinar. And we wish you all the best for the new Pathways program and your journey ahead. Till we meet again, happy Toastmastering. Signing off from webinar team.
Bye. Thank you.